minute delay, so we should be getting started. Here it is right now. In fact, SuperNinTaylor starting. Kyong should not be far behind. We will get this synced up for you in just a moment. I think that was the cape in Sanctuary chest. Seeing Kyong. Yes, it is.
Cape, another one of those items that's nerfed in Expert. It will use magic 3 times as fast as normal, so your magic bar will be gone in about a second.
Yeah, and that's another case of thing that makes Laser Bridge, which I was prophesizing earlier, so not that much more difficult. You can't use the invincibility you have because it is expert mode. You have to show that you're an expert at doing things like that without relying on those safeties. So the only exception where in the magic is actually used at a normal basis, as Kyong does the Houlihan glitch here to get 225 free bucks here. SuperNinTaylor on his way to the Lumberjack glitch, I believe, getting some bombs from the Hermit Crab first. Those will be very useful later. Not completely lost track of what I was saying because I started talking about too many things at once, but we will carry on from there. We do have Kyong checking chest in Link's house. And look at the Lumberjack ledge. That is an ice rod.
Yeah, that's going to be absolutely required since it is all dungeons. Of course, you have to do Aga anyway, so it's not such a big deal, but it is good to know where that is.
Now, if the Lumberjack ledge item is required, the only way we know that is required is if Turtle Rock is a crystal. If it turns out it is a pendant, we may not need that rod. I believe it was the ice rod, by the way. If I am wrong, someone can correct me, but it looked like it was a blue end on it.
I believe it was the ice rod, but we do know it is required with it being an all dungeons.
Oh yes, all dungeons it is required. That is correct. And we're going to get a look at the race game from Kyong right here. So Kyong is checking that item, doing the game normally. And what he is going to find is 20 bucks. And since he's probably planning to get Zora in there as soon as possible, I think he will take that 20 rupees. There it is. SuperNinTaylor taking advantage of the money from the tree pull as well, it looks like.
Yep. Another thing we have mentioned, Kyong92 is the #1 overall seed in this tournament. I believe he went 15-0 in the group stage, which is impressive.
He did.
So SuperNinTaylor, might say a bit of an underdog, but it is Randomizer. Anything can happen. You still have to be a pretty strong runner to make it to the brackets in the first place. So, anything can happen. Like I said, we got a mirror in the blind side and a sword.
A sword? That's too easy. But yeah, Kyong has definitely proven he is a strong runner, going 15-0 in the pool phase. And to clarify, that's 3 matches against each of 5 opponents in a 6-person pool. So to win all 15 matches in that scenario, that shows you're a really good runner to be able to pull that off. And it means that you definitely have a really good chance. You're one of the favorites immediately going into the brackets. But like you said, anything can happen. A couple bad seeds and SuperNinTaylor could come out on top, and that would knock our #1 seed out of the tournament if that were to be the case.
Yep. Just some arrows from the bottle vendor. Should also mention we had a glove in Blind's Hut in the back. We also got is that the Misery Mire big key, I believe?
Yes, with this being Key Sanity, all the keys are shuffled around here, so you will find keys outside of the dungeons today, including the big keys, which means that Gans Tower big key is somewhere in the world. And that was Misery Mire big key.
Another thing to mention, these players already know who they would be facing if they win. Rywek has already won his bracket match. That was earlier today, actually.
Yep, I was watching a little bit of that race, and that was a really nasty seed they had. We won't talk too much about that seed, but I do remember there was something to do with a really nasty setup of items that led to Quake at the Mystery Mire area to get into Mizumari, and that was just the last part of it. There was a lot of items in weird locations in that seed, so he did a great job getting through that seed today. Moon Pearl was in a tough location as well, I remember. So go back to this seed. SuperNinTaylor is checking the library. It looked like another sword in there, so that sword upgrade may or may not be picked up. And the reason I say may or may not be picked up is if he finds another sword upgrade before getting the boots, that will turn into 20 rupees in the library, so he wouldn't go back to get that in that case.
Yeah. An interesting thing, we've already found the maps for Ice Palace, or the map and the compass for Ice Palace. Now, the map and the compass, I mean, they're not required, but the logic will place them before you're required to beat the dungeon. So when you do find a map and a compass for that dungeon, that might be a bit of a hint that that's one you might want to check out as soon as you can.
Yep, and that's something that really good runners will take into account when they're doing a key standy seed, because if they see both those items as a sign of, okay, let's see, I found Turtle Rock map and compass, I'm sure I'm going to be finding King of Samaria very soon, I'm going to find the hammer very soon, and they know what kind of items to find to get into that dungeon as quick as they can.
Yeah. All right, Kyong going to go up and see that ice rod there on the Lumberjack Ledge as SuperNinTaylor finds the big key of Thieves Town.
Now, Thieves Town is a dungeon that can be cleared very, very quickly, and we don't even need a small key to get to blind. So the only thing that a key locks in Thieves Town is, in fact, the chest that requires the hammer to open. So I could see the runners getting to Thieves Town very quickly in this seed, even without the map and compass, like we were just talking about, just to clear that dungeon out, and then they can route the hammer chest in later if they need it.
According to chat, that was actually a fire rod, not an ice rod.
Oh.
We got a big key to Skullwoods, a Castle Tower small key, a Ganon's Tower small key, and Piece of Heart. So, bunch of keys in Mini Moldorm Cave. Oh, and Kyong just checked out the back of Escape, which I missed what was in there. According to chat, there was a lamp.
Ooh.
NinTaylor's going to head over towards Ice Rod Cave and maybe Fake Flipper after. Kyong's going to head down towards the dam.
We know that's where the Thieves Town big key was located, so Kyong is about to pick that up. SuperNinTaylor heading into the Ice Rod Cave right now. The reason we call it the Ice Rod Cave is because that's where the Ice Rod Cave is in vanilla. And interesting that one of the items needed for defeating the last boss of the game is able to be picked up as the before even going into the first dungeon, if you so desire.
Question in chat. Whose choice was this? This was Kyong's choice of seed.
And to answer that question further, this is not even max difficulty. This is just the max difficulty allowed in this tournament. There is actually one difficulty level above this, which is insane difficulty, and that one limits you to 3 hearts, and you don't get any more hearts. And there might be a couple other little changes as well that make things harder as well. For example, if you powder a fairy, it turns into bees in that difficulty.
Getting a second look here at Back of Escape. We got an Ice Palace key, Gan's Tower key, and the lamp. So we can see a couple of dungeons we're getting pushed towards. Ice Palace as well as definitely Aga Tower. We've got a sword, cape, and one of the keys already, as well as the lamp. So I can see runners often want to save Aga Tower for last, but in this case I think we'll probably be seeing it earlier.
I think we're going to see an early escape, but I think what might be advisable is to check out Eastern Palace first. We can't clear it because we don't have the bow, but we do have a lamp available. And with that Eastern Palace, and I don't see it lit up on either runner, but I'm being told the lamp was somewhere found by chat.
It was in the Back of Escape.
Okay, so I'm not sure. I guess Kyong must have picked that up already. It's just not marked on the tracker. But there's the Master Sword for SuperNinTaylor. So I was talking about the library sword upgrade earlier. He's now going to find 20 rupees if he goes back to the library, so he will not be picking that library item up today anymore, even though we know it is one of the sword upgrades. And Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, I was suggesting that we are going to see I would suggest an early Eastern Palace check, even though we can't finish it because we don't have the bow, but it would get a lot of item checks out of the way, and it would rule out if we find something like the boots, because if we find the boots, that's a very good sign at this point that Aghanim might be required, because we need to anyway, because we have to get that lumberjack ledge. So it's a good sign to get there early, because you might need that fire rod for one of your first dungeon clears.
Yeah. Yeah, if we don't find anything of value in the front of Escape, I think we might head over there soon. And SuperNinTaylor finds the powder. Doesn't do much for us right now, since we still need the hammer to access the magic bat.
And that's really all it does in this difficulty, because yeah, you can get Power of Fairy and get a single heart out of it, but that's, unless you're in dire circumstances, that's not very useful. It's really only useful for magic bat in this difficulty.
Yeah, it's more useful for clearing the fairy out of your way rather than getting much health out of it. I did not see what was in that the boomerang chest. But Kyong is taking your advice, heading over towards Sahasrara and perhaps the eastern area, or the eastern palace after.
Yep. And this is probably somewhere in this area. I'm going to suspect this is where the boots are located. Just by the way the items have been laid out so far, it sounds right to me that boots will be here somewhere. Meanwhile, we do find a big key for Ice Palace.
Yeah, and NinTaylor finds a bottle with a green potion in it. We also found out that Skullwoods is the green pendant.
Now that dungeon can be cleared without its big key, but I think you still need at least 1 or 2 small keys if I'm not mistaken. Either way, if you can get that green pendant before going to Eastern, that would give you another check as well.
Yeah, you don't actually require keys to fully clear Skullwoods. You can You can find enough keys in the pots and one on one of those mummies.
Ah, yes, okay.
But the small keys are helpful. They make the palace a little quicker. We also found the Swamp Palace small key in the dark chest in Escape. And that's a very important key.
We run the save wave, like they're a very important key because you can't get into Swamp Palace without it. And once you have it, you can basically clear Swamp Palace completely. You don't even need any other keys, or even the big key. You just need to get your hook shot, you just need to get your flippers, and you're pretty much go. And I think the hammer is. So there's a small key to Ice Palace sitting up there in Eastern Palace, in that chest you would normally be able to hook shot to. In this case, you had to take the long way around without the hook shot. And SuperNinTaylor is now following up and going to the Eastern Palace area. So right now, Kyong is a few steps ahead of him in that area. We will mostly be following Kyong to see what he picks up here.
Just a red rupee in the compass chest.
No big key yet, so he's going to skip the big chest here. He can't open it. This means, the routing he's taking means he is going to go through the dark room here. Now, let's just reconfirm here. He has picked up the lamp, so he does have that beam of light showing he does have the lamp, and is going to have no problem finding that key back here. But most of the runners in this tournament, especially our number 1 seed, I'm sure, have no difficulty knowing what item, where things are in those dark rooms. They know those rooms like the back of their hand. So guarantee he would have had no problem even if he didn't have the lamp. Now, with that said, whatever item is back here, actually, yeah, if he didn't have the lamp, whatever's here would be a sequence break, but that piece of heart is fully in logic, not that a piece of heart is ever part of a logic.
Yeah. All right, Kyong done with Eastern. He's gonna...
Looks like he may have already run out of things to do, and he's already heading towards Aghanim's tower. He might be doing the escape followed directly by Aghanim, because he'll find that Master Sword in the back of escape.
Yeah, of course, we still don't have that second Castle Tower small key, but it could very well be vanilla inside Castle Tower.
So there's the Swamp Palace map. So that's I don't know if we know that earlier, but now if they have the compass, that will also route that Swamp Palace as a possible early check. They just need the flippers. Kyong now has everything he needs to go into the Aghanim's Tower area, logically.
Yep.
And that means go ahead.
Sorry. Not a whole lot of options left right now. I mean, there's a few isolated checks like Agina, Zora, Sick Kid, and a couple checks on the mountain they can do. But I think Castle Tower and Escape seems like the best play right now.
Yeah, it definitely does seem like the best play. I can't see any logical access. I mean, they can, if they want. Yeah, they don't have the Moon Pearl, so they can't even go to Dark World. So it suggests to me that the Moon Pearl. Actually, no, I just realized something else. They need both Castle Tower keys. Do they have both Castle Tower keys?
No, they just have one.
I wonder if one is hiding in Vanilla Castle Tower location. That would be kind of silly, because they don't see much else that they can do. They don't have the book, so they can't get in the desert. They can't even flute. They can't even flute and mirror. Even they could do that without the Moon Pearl, but they don't have that, so that's not an option. Tower of Hera, they have the mirror. They could actually go up to Tower of Hera and check that out if they wish to. That is available.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah,
there's a couple items there. And they can also do some other checks in Death Mountain. So there are still a lot of items there, but that seems to be the only play. And if that doesn't work out, Aghanim it is. And we need it for progression anyway, and it's in all dungeons, so they have to do it anyway, but they would have to do it earlier in this case. And they'll have to anyway.
Yeah, and we do have that fire source with the lamp, so we can guarantee that Hera is full clearable. So yeah, now that I kind of forgot they could get to Hera, but
it might be good. It might be good to try Aghanim's Tower before, but again, unless they are gambling that second Castle Tower key is in there, that won't work. So I'm actually thinking they might do some of the Death Mountain checks first, and if they find the Castle Tower key, beeline it back to Aghanim's Tower, get that fire source, go complete Hera. That might be the best option at this point.
Oh, and as chat reminds me, we don't have any keys for Hera, so
that's true, Bob. That is true.
There's still two items in the front that we can get to.
And all of Death Mountain as well.
Yeah, well, we still can't get to East Death Mountain.
Correct.
And we get a useless map from the old man for Hyrule Castle.
At least they know where to find the princess now.
Well, she wasn't even there, though.
Yeah,
she already escaped.
That's not nice of her. We're supposed to find her there. So yeah, Kyong is doing the Aghanim's Tower play. He is gambling that Castle Tower key is up here somewhere. Either that or he found the second key and we don't know. We'll find out when he walks in.
We do have the hammer.
He does only have the one key. And, ooh, that is the hammer. Nice. That's on Spectacle Rock. He can mirror to that, so he will go pick that up.
So that actually gives us now lots of checks on East Death Mountain and puts us just a Moon Pearl away from...
Yeah, speaking of the Moon Pearl.
All right, so between these two runners, we now have Dark World access. Hey, there's some boots.
And Kyong, meanwhile, went and checked the second chest, so we can now confirm Aghanim's Tower's other item is a piece of heart. He's out of there. He can't complete it. He's going to go to the Dark World. I think he's going to do Thieves' Town because we can get all but one item in Thieves' Town, and we can get our first boss down there. So I can see him doing that right now.
Well, Kyong has to go get that hammer first. In order
to get the last item, yes, but I think he can still get in without the hammer, can he?
To where?
To Thieves Town?
Well, he can't get into the Dark World.
Oh, it's Titan's Myths for the Northern Rocks. Okay.
Yeah, we saw the flippers there on the, what do you call that? The floating island. So we're starting to get some items for Swamp and Ice Palace.
Meanwhile, we're in Spiral Cave, and SuperNinTaylor's boots make that a much quicker area to navigate. Those boots immediately getting put to use. We just got to see that single rupee in that chest at the bottom. And noticing the old man was the one who gave the Hyrule Castle map. That actually makes perfect sense for some reason.
SuperNinTaylor taking a little shortcut into Paradox Cave that you can do with a little glitch with the mirror that lets you delete blocks.
Some money and some some money and some sticks on the first floor of Paradox Cave. SuperNinTaylor is heading upstairs. Kyong's going to give us a look at the hint. I don't think SuperNinTaylor checked the hint inside Spectacle Rock, so we're going to get to see that right now as well. SuperNinTaylor goes to check his 5 items. Something to do with Ice Palace on the hint. There was a small key, something for Ganon's Tower, some sticks. 2 more chests include another small key to Dark Palace, and that was a shovel, I think.
Yeah, I missed what the first item was.
The first item was a key, but I didn't catch what the key was for because I was trying to catch the hint.
Yeah.
The hint said something to do with Ice Palace, but I didn't see the other half. Piece of heart and Ice Palace going to chat. Thank you. And Kyong picks up his hammer, and he will be happy to head to the Dark World once he finishes up here now. And we have a mystery item in SuperNinTaylor's last chest check. We didn't get to see what that was, unfortunately. Kyong picking up his boot. And there's money in the banana stand, apparently. Thanks, game.
SuperNinTaylor checking out Sick Kid, just 20 rupees. And Nintaylor's going to go straight to check out that shovel spot. I'm surprised he's doing this rather than going into the Dark World and routing that in with Dark World checks.
There may be a lot reason for this because he hasn't found the Moon Pearl yet, and he might be thinking the Moon Pearl is up here instead of the small key to Misery Mire.
That's right. Yeah, no Moon Pearl yet. Kyong, however, does have Dark World access. Now there was a key there. I didn't see what it was.
Misery Mire. Misery Mire.
Misery Mire. Okay.
And the Moon Pearl, for those wondering, was in Aghanim's Tower. So Aghanim had the right idea, tried to prevent the hero from getting where he needs to go, but the items, of course, are always laid out in a logical way that we can get it.
And SuperNinTaylor gonna go do a Houlihan. I imagine he's planning to go to Zora in the near future.
So we get confirmation what that first key was for in just a moment if we can get a better look at this time on Kyong's side. SuperNinTaylor just passes right by, actually that was not Hype Cave, that's Light World. That's where Hype Cave would be in the Dark World. So we didn't remember that there was Dark Palace key there in the shovel, so I caught those. Let's see if we can get the left side now. Ganon's Tower small key. Okay, that was a Ganon's Tower small key and the map for Ganon's Tower.
Well, we got both our useless maps out of the way.
Now, just to clarify what ATM is referring to when he says both of our useless maps are out of the way, the maps for those locations literally are useless. The other maps are actually useful. They will tell us if a dungeon is a crystal or a pendant. And now something to do with key sanity mode is that the music, key sanity mode is that the music is also randomized in each dungeon. So normally you can listen to the music and know without even doing a map check, is this a crystal or pendant? You can't do that in Key Sanity because it's completely random. You can even get the Gan's Tower music outside of Gan's Tower. So you can't use that as a basis. You have to wait for the maps. That's a hookshot in Hype Cave.
Yeah, we had a hint for that.
And a powered Titan's Mitt in Hype Cave. And the small key to Dark Palace. And the key to Samaria. I don't do this very often, ladies and gentlemen, but I am rating this Hype Cave a 10 out of 10.
I think that is definitely qualifies for a 10 out of 10. That's the best Hype Cave I've seen in a while.
Especially for expert difficulty, that's really good. We're getting 15 out of 10 in chat. I don't question that at all. I saw Misery Mire as one of the 5-6 crystals. I did not catch the other one.
Yeah, I missed the first one as well. I was watching NinTaylor over at the Hobo.
Swamp Palace, it says. So we are getting a check in Waterfall, and we're not going to get to see what the fairy has today, unfortunately, as the fill item. But the medicine is fairly useless, so I don't blame him not making that check.
Just a piece of heart on the ledge, so not going to come back for that. Probably.
If he had the flippers, he might have gotten it while I was here, but since he doesn't have the flip... Actually, no, it's not marked. Does he not have the flippers?
No, because it was on the floating island.
Ah, right, okay. So he hasn't picked it up yet.
There's a map of Thieves Town.
Did we already see the compass for Thieves Town?
I don't remember. So Kyong doing Dark Death Mountain, we got $300 and a mushroom.
Oh, I didn't even see the mushroom. It looks like it's didn't show that for me. So mushroom, interesting. That puts the witch into logic.
And SuperNinTaylor finally going to Agate Tower will get his Moon Pearl. And Kyong heading into Hookshot Cave.
Hookshot Cave does have 4 items in it. So we have the bow already in Hookshot Cave. That's a very nice pickup. Can we get more? We have a big key for something.
Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock.
And a small key for Turtle Rock.
Oh, nice.
And $50. So, yeah, we got a lot of items pointing towards Turtle Rock now.
Indeed.
Of course, we still don't have any medallion. Kyong gonna grab his flippers. I'm not sure if he checked what the medallion for Turtle Rock is. Our tracker has it marked as Bombos, so... Ooh. Kyong taking a death to those Lionels. That'll happen in Expert. Yeah, without a tempered sword, you can't just dash through the Lionels. You have to go around them. That Master Sword does not do any damage to the Lionels.
Yeah, that's the Lionels get a little beefier, I guess you could say. Or beefier enemies than the others.
Alright, NinTaylor heading to Hype Cave as well. He'll get his treasure trove of items.
A lot of wonderful items. So there's his hook shot, his Titan's Mitt, and everything else.
Kyong gonna go into Spike Cave. This is gonna be close with only 4 hearts. He does have that magic potion, though.
He may not make it.
Oh,
actually, no, he can.
Yeah.
Okay, he can use the potion here normally. Yeah, this is noting that this cave is the exception. He is able to use potions normally in this cave, so you could actually come in here with a red potion and get all your health back if you want to as well, I believe.
And yeah, confirming Swamp Palace is the other 5-6 crystal. Of course, pendants and crystals not super important in this mode since you have to do all the dungeons anyway. But some of them do open a couple extra item checks. So, all right, Nintaylor going to check out some more Dark World stuff. Gets a full heart container. That's our only full heart container we'll see in this entire seed.
That is also a coincidentally Sandcart, because Sandcart is the one I believe is not removed. The other ones that the bosses drop are the ones that are all removed. So it's also a free heart refill when you find that heart.
And we got silver arrows in Cave 45. So silver arrows in Expert, as in hard mode, you can only use for Ganon, but it is nice to find them.
Yep, silver arrows make the Ganon fight about a minute easier. And since they're only going to have Master Sword, guarantee you these runners are going to be happy to pick up those silver arrows when they fight.
Yeah. And SuperNinTaylor not having enough money for the big game. You need $80. But there is this archery game. He might be able to farm some rupees up here.
Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. And kind of a nice vanilla placement to have the archery game here, basically to give runners a reason to play it. Three for 3 so far, 4 for 4. And that is a perfect archery game. 64 rupees for the last one, and he wants to play again.
Kyong getting his pod small key from the hobo.
And that's 10 perfect shots on the archery game for SuperNinTaylor. He's off to the digging game. After bonking into a tree. Kyong is heading over to the pyramid. We now have access to the pyramid without doing Aghanim. So it looks like Aghanim is not required for progression purposes anymore, but we had to go into the tower to get the Moon Pearl. And it looks like that might have just been something like 5 rupees on the pyramid ledge, because he is not going back for it.
Well, we still have to do Aga Tower to get that fire rod.
Oh yeah, that is true. So many items in so many weird places today.
Yeah. Kyung gonna hookshot over and check out King's Tomb, Graveyard Ledge, all these checks. Skipping Catfish for now. He might come back to that and route that in with Zora and those other checks. Meanwhile, Nintaylor going to do the Smith Chain, and we had a medallion from Kyong. I didn't see which one it was.
I was going to call that Bombos, yeah. Bombos in the King's Tomb. So at least the King died with something useful for us.
Yeah, that is our entry to Turtle Rock, as well as potentially Ice Palace if we need to go in there before we get the Fire Rod.
Yeah, the Castle Tower Small Key is going to be the thing that starts a chain of things that we can do here, because we need that to get the Fire Rod, and that's what opens up a couple of checks here, plus it allows us to defeat Trinex. So even though Turtle Rock is now open, they need that Fire Rod and also the Ice Rod in order to even finish the dungeon. Not to mention all those keys that are all over the world as well.
And with that Bombos, actually, I believe Ice Palace is now fully clearable. We got the big key and 2 small keys. Or, yeah, 2 small keys, I think.
Yeah, that should be enough. I know that there might be a weird routing where the 3rd room could be needed, but I don't think that's a problem in this mode. And even if the last room, the last chest is one of those key ones, I don't remember the exact layout of Ice Palace as well as others. But if there is a single chest in a room somewhere, it's always possible that could be a small key locking itself.
With that bomb jump, actually, I don't think you need any keys necessarily, but they do make the routing faster. We had the 2nd Castle Tower small key on Magic Bat, so we can get that Fire Rod now.
Yep, we can do that.
And Kyong turning in the Mushroom and getting the Cane of Burna. Doesn't give you invincibility, except in Spike Cave. And there's the Flute in the C-shaped house. So we're getting lots of nice items really quickly right now.
Speaking of items that have limited use, we picked up the Hookshot earlier. It should be noted that neither the Hookshot nor either of the Boomerangs will grant stun to enemies either. You can't stun enemies with those 2 items in this difficulty level.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think that was a 10 bomb pack from the Catfish. The 10 bomb pack, by the way, if you play a standard mode instead of open mode, and you're playing on randomized swords, Uncle has to give you a weapon. Actually, it works with swordless as well. Uncle has to give you a weapon to get through escape. That 10 bomb pack was added to the game when that mode was created, and that basically is allowed to or permitted as an item, so you can use that as your item to get through escape. You can just throw bombs at all the enemies, and if you run out of bombs, you basically die and start over. If you need more bombs, you get the 10 bombs back.
Yep. NinTaylor is going to head into Thieves Town. And he gets the pod big key. So we don't have the Thieves Town small key. So he will be leaving one item behind. But there are 7 other items in here you can get, so...
Kyong is going to go pick up that piece of heart that was on the Zora ledge. So as you mentioned, runners may go to get that in this difficulty. Kyong is doing that just to make sure he has the health he needs. And we have 5 rupees in the vanilla big key chest in Thieves Town. Thought he wasn't going to go in for a second, but he was just double checking, I believe, that he had the big key and is now heading towards the big key door.
SuperNinTaylor, you missed a chest there.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. It was definitely closed when he went back up.
Oh, no. I hope that's not an important item.
Yeah. Unless I'm just seeing things, but I'm pretty sure that third chest in Thieves Town he did not open.
That could be disastrous if he missed that chest. SuperNinTaylor knocking one of those blobs out of the way. This is a dangerous room to kill those blobs in too, because it's possible to soft lock it out if you kill that blob in just the wrong spot. These runners are so good. I'm sure that's never happened to any of them before.
Alright, Kyong, gonna check out Skull Woods.
So we will not know what that mystery item is until Kyong gets to that chest and opens it.
Ooh.
SuperNinTaylor does take a death. That could be good for him if he happens to catch that he missed the chest. This could be good for him, but he's leaving instead.
No, he's just gonna leave. Kyong finds Ether in Skull Woods.
Now that I don't think will help us. The other dungeon, I think, were both dungeons bombos, or was one of them...
We haven't seen Meyer yet.
Okay. So either could be used for that, or it could be Quake, or it could just be another bombos.
Yep. And NinTaylor gonna activate the duck. Yeah, the problem with that third chest is, depending on the way he goes back into Thieves Town, he might not see it. So we'll have to watch Kyong very carefully and see what was in that chest.
SuperNinTaylor is...
I really hope it...
Go ahead.
Yeah, I really hope it's not an important item.
SuperNinTaylor, meanwhile, taking the purple chest and heading back to the light world. He's going to flute, but he gets out of the portal before he loses invincibility and ends up going back into it by accident. Going to flute right over to the damn area. No time wasted since he already did the checks along the route. He doesn't have to go through that route again. He's just going to go straight to Gary. Have the lunchbox opened and gets a little tip for bringing his lunchbox back to him.
I think NinTaylor is going to go do Aga and grab that fire rod.
And at this point, knowing that the fire rod would unlock Mothula, this is definitely a good play. That would allow him to finish Skull Woods. Even then, that would still be our first dungeon clear, I believe. We have not cleared a single dungeon yet at almost 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
Unless you count this as the first dungeon clear.
Yeah, well, Agate Tower always required in all dungeons.
Mm-hmm. Kyong gets his allowance from the sick kid. So Kyong is surely going to be doing Thieves Town very soon here. I can't see any reason to skip it, but he is actually checking everything around the area first before going in. So maybe he's not doing Thieves Town yet.
Yeah, I may be hoping to find that small key before he goes in there.
I think we did see that small key somewhere, did we not?
For Thieves Town?
I thought we did.
I don't remember.
Oh,
I know
look,
we
a
got
big
the
key
big
in the
key.
digging game. That's the Desert Palace big key in the digging game, and I don't know if we mentioned that earlier, but SuperNinTaylor did pick that up. Did he go back to digging game and pick that up? I believe he did. Yes, he has it.
Yeah. We also got a hint for a unique item in Tower of Hera. We got the boots there, so it's probably referring to that.
Of course, whenever there's a unique item hint, there's tends to be 2 or 3 unique items in that dungeon. I don't know why that turns out to be the case, but I see that quite often. So we may find something else there later as well.
And NinTaylor remembering on expert, you can't use that hook shot to stun enemies.
That was a little bit of a reminder for him there as he's going to head into Aghanim now. We have a little game we like to play when we have the Aghanim fight. How many blue balls is Aghanim going to throw at these runners today? I'm going to go with 3 like I usually do. What do you think?
I'll guess 5.
Which means it's going to be 4. But let's see what happens. So the fight begins. The first shot is always going to be an orb, and as you see, you can just do a spin slash and fire that orb right back at him. You don't even have to spin slash. You can just use the regular sword attack if you want to, but runners usually do the spin splash to make sure that there's no difficulty. There's the first of those blue balls. So after that first orb, it's 50-50 as to whether you get another orb coming at you or whether you get that blue ball. That's 2 blue balls, by the way. After 4 shots after the guaranteed shot and 3 more random shots, you get that lightning intermission that SuperNinTaylor just witnessed Aghanim doing. And now we're looking for 4 more straight solid shots here in order to ensure no second lightning intermission. If there is 1 more blue ball, we will have another lightning intermission. There's that 3rd blue ball. We will see more lightning today. So that's 3 hits, 3 blue balls, I believe. I did not see what this one was, but we're going to find out soon. There's another hit for SuperNinTaylor. And there's our lightning intermission. So we know we have at least 4 hits. I'm not sure if we got the 5th one there or not. We should find out right after this guaranteed hit, though, whatever the case is. And Aghanim goes down. So it was indeed 6 hits, 3 blue balls. I guess I win.
Congrats.
Thank you. So Kyong checks the chess game, the treasure game. And SuperNinTaylor, I think he already checked what was on the pyramid. If not, nope, he's just checking it now. It was bombs, not 5 rupees. It was bombs on the pyramid today. So not going to pick that up because he has lots of bombs.
All right, so Kyong heading into Thieves Town. Let's watch what is in the 3rd chest because SuperNinTaylor skipped that chest for some reason.
May have just been an accident. Now we know that the Palace Darkness big key was the first item there. We just saw it again now. There's $5 in the 2nd chest. So what's this 3rd chest going to be that we did not see? This is going to be very interesting, and this could be a major deciding point in the seed just by missing that chest. Let's find out.
NinTaylor heading up to Catfish, which Kyong hasn't checked yet, I don't believe.
I thought he did. It was a 10 bomb pack.
Oh, that's right. Just arrows in that 3rd chest.
So that's not going to cost SuperNinTaylor at all, thankfully.
Yeah. So that's good to see.
SuperNinTaylor will take the bomb pack. The SuperNinTaylor is heading up Death Mountain now. I can't he could not be doing Turtle Rock yet. It would be interesting if he does decide to try and... No, he doesn't have his medallions yet, it doesn't look like.
Yeah, but he hasn't been up here since he got the Titan's Mitt, so he's got some overworld checks he can do. He'll get his flippers and bow.
Something sharp requires the boots, I think that said.
Oh, that was the sword we saw in library.
Mm-hmm. Of course, he already has the Master Sword, so he won't care about that.
Yeah.
And I think one of our runners did indeed pick up the Bommel time. We did see Bommel somewhere, did we not?
Yeah, Kyong got it in King's Tomb.
By the way, Kyong got the book as well. I don't remember if SuperNinTaylor got to the Sunshine Room to get that book. He did take a death in Thieves Town. I don't remember if it was before that room or after that room, though. So we'll have to see if he has the book or not as well. But that book does open up Desert Palace. Now, he does have the flute anyway and the mirror, so he could have gotten to Desert Palace anyway. So Desert Palace is open for however Kyong wants to get into it now. The only thing that he would need is, he has that big key, so the only thing he would need, if he doesn't already have it, would be the small key. That small key would be to gain access to the 2 chests on the right side of the dungeon. So he may put out Desert Palace till he has that. We'll find out.
Oh, chat pointing out the book was in the attic in Deucetown, which SuperNinTaylor died right before he could get that.
That's what I was pointing out. I just didn't know if SuperNinTaylor had gotten it or not.
Yeah, I think he missed it. Kyung finding another bottle in the basement of Deucetown. We don't have that small key, so we are going to be leaving the big chest behind.
And that may not be important because there have been a lot of cases in seas where we have found nothing valuable in that chest. And depending how items are laid out, we may not even get back to this chest for a while. Especially if that small key happens for some silly reason to be somewhere like Ganon's Tower, then we know there's nothing in there. So we'll find out later what the case may be.
Well, you never know. You can still find progression in Ganon's Tower, especially in all dungeons. You can have items required for pendant dungeons.
It's very rare, but yeah, that's exactly, you're exactly right. You could find that small key at Thieves Town, and yes, you could find the Ganon's Tower big key in that big chest. It would be insane, it would be silly, but it has happened in ways like that before. I've seen it with Eastern Palace before.
All right, so Kyong gets his first dungeon down, and that is a pendant from Thieves Town, while NinTaylor's going to do Spike Cave. And Kyong's going to activate his flute.
So SuperNinTaylor down to 1 heart. If he runs out of magic, he would die. It's going to be very, very close here. Oh, he takes a death. Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah, that's rough.
Meanwhile, Kyong, as you mentioned, has activated his flute, so the bird is loose for both runners. For all your flight needs, call 555 bird, and he'll be right there to pick you up.
All right, NinTaylor can turn in the mushroom.
John taking the purple chest. We know there's nothing worthwhile in that, but he's going to do his... I don't think he's done the checks along the purple chest route yet, so he's going to actually take it the long way and do those checks now.
Yeah, he can also route in desert. Yep. He can also route in desert or maybe even Swamp Palace after that.
Get the medallion. They're not the medallion, the tablet as well from above the desert as well, the Bombos tablet. And there's that full heart from Stumpy. Of course, SuperNinTaylor did pick that up already. He did that check earlier. That's the health refill for Kyong, as it was a Sank heart. Looks like SuperNinTaylor is checking Graveyard Ledge right now. Kyong is continuing along the route to use his muscular strength to lift that heavy rock and throw it at that guard throwing a spear at him.
Alright, so let's see which way Kyong goes, if he goes to swamp or to desert.
And we have sync mirror evolutions here.
So he's going to check the Wombo's tablet.
And this is something that SuperNinTaylor could not have checked yet, so this is new information for us. That bat is going to be incinerated and drops from the heavens, 20 bucks.
And Kyong, with a quick map check, I think there were crystals in both desert and eastern.
I didn't catch that, unfortunately. In fact, I just saw the map check now, or either that was a warp, possibly. So Kyong is heading back towards Agham's Tower. He's going to clear that now. He's going to get his fire. I think we concluded that was a fire rod, the lumberjack.
Yeah. SuperNinTaylor heading to Skull Woods. Did he go to pick up that fire rod yet?
I don't think he did. We'll have to get a look at his inventory if either of us can see that later.
Yeah, he could probably just route that in with Bumper Cave, maybe.
Yeah, he probably will. I don't think either runner has checked Bumper Cave, so we don't know what's there yet. There is that ether for SuperNinTaylor, so he has both those medallions now. Now that chest that SuperNinTaylor checked always has to be a small key for this dungeon. That chest will never get randomized because it's possible to drop into this room, and you have to use the key on that locked door to get out of this room. So that to make it easier and not have to save and quit every time you drop into this room if it turned out it wasn't a key, that chest is always a key.
I did not see what was in the big chest there.
I didn't either. Hopefully Chad can help us with that.
Chat says it was the Tower of Hera big key.
Ooh. So that does make Tower of Hera completable now. They do have the mirror, they can get up there. So, and they have the hammer for the other side anyway. So they can definitely get up there and complete that now. And I think we saw both the other items for that dungeon earlier, so I think it's in logic now, if I'm not mistaken.
And then Taylor gonna grab his
Yep,
fire
it is
rod.
the fire rod. I can see the red that time, so it is fire rod. So I'm just going to go over the icons at the top of the screen again, just for those who are just joining us, wondering what kind of seed this is. The first icon, it looks like two icons, but it is one icon showing the crystal and the pendant means it's an all dungeon seed. The link head means it's open mode. You don't have to rescue Zelda. Escape you can still do, but you don't have to rescue Zelda, and it's not raining to start the game. The question mark means randomized swords. The uncle will not have a sword, but the swords are available anywhere in the world. All 4 sword upgrades placed. Expert difficulty means, among other things, 2 of those upgrades you will not be able to pick up. You're only going to get the Master Sword. You're going to have a maximum of 9 hearts, which Kyong has 6 of right now in his inventory. And among other nasty changes. And that big key means that you're playing a key sanity seed, which means the keys are shuffled everywhere as well. You have to find all the maps, compasses, if you decide you need those. But definitely the small keys and big keys for the dungeons, because you do need those to clear the dungeons. Now, one note about the Key Sanity hints system as well. There is a guaranteed hint in the seeds somewhere saying where the Gans Tower Big Key is located. It could be, it's just a general hint most of the time, but sometimes it can be very specific. Something like Ganon's Tower big key is in Turtle Rock, or Ganon's Tower big key is in Ganon's Tower. So we may or may not be playing the big key guessing game, depending if we actually see that hint, because in that case we would know it's in Ganon's Tower.
All right, NinTaylor are gonna head back to take on Mothula. And Kyong has Aga down, so he looks like he's gonna go do the same thing NinTaylor's doing.
Yep, and it's a good play. Once you have the Fire Rod, take it out and get it done. Makes sense to me. Actually, he's checking Bumper Cave. So he's going to get Bumper Cave out of the way first. He's going to try and route that in best way he can, since he's in the Skullwoods area anyway. And what is on Bumper Cave today? Bumper Cave, I didn't see it. Did he get over there and check it?
It was a compass.
So he probably won't pick it up then. And Kyong now has his Fire Rod. SuperNinTaylor was waiting out the Master Hand there, as I'll refer to it as, by accident. If he had dropped into the pit in that same run, he would have been plucked out of the pit by the Wall Master, that hand, and he would have been plopped right back at the entrance to this portion of the dungeon, which obviously costs a little bit of time and also causes some strange music desync I've heard in this as well when I was playing it once. So, and that happened to me because, it never happens. Anyway, he is doing the fight right now with Mothula. Those spikes are really going after him, but he gets the last hit in with one heart to spare and just gets a map for his efforts for Tower Hera. And that's a green pendant in Skullwoods. We knew that because we saw the hint from Hasrala earlier, but that's the second pendant we've seen picked up today. Now, with two pendant pickups already in here, I'm starting to wonder if the pedestal might be at play today. We don't know where that third pendant is yet, I don't believe. I don't see it marked anyway. So once we know where that third pendant is, we'll know everything else is a crystal at that point. But depending where that third pendant is, it could also mean the pedestal is at play.
Kyong forgetting to light that torch. Just makes it in. And NinTaylor without the book can't check the pedestal. But Kyong might do that.
Yeah, Kyong, I can see doing that because he is in the area. It is convenient. Why not just do it and get it out of the way?
And in Key Sanity, since there's so many more required items, it's also more likely that there is something required on the pedestal.
It definitely can be. It's still rare. It's like if you can route in something like the Pyramid Fairy, for example, that's rare as well, but pedestal is even rarer than that, I would say. In my experience, I very rarely see required items on the pedestal, but I've seen a lot of things at Pyramid Fairy, so I would still put odds on that. But you never know. With the fact that we've already got two pendants here, it makes pedestal seem all the more likely just for that reason, knowing that the Pyramid Fairy, for example, would need Swamp Palace, which can be cleared, and Misery Mire, which may or may not be able to be done yet. So we'll find out later what the odds are of both, and we should get that pedestal check from Kyong right now. So ladies and gentlemen, get your pedestal hype in chat. We're about to see this on the pedestal.
SuperNinTaylor, meanwhile, heading into Pod.
And the pedestal was bust.
Well, the green pendant. And just bombs on the pedestal.
Mm-hmm. So Kyong is going to check Misery Mire right now. Find out what that is for us. I didn't catch it. Did you?
Sorry?
Did you catch what Misery Mire's pendant was? Or medallion?
No. Oh, it's bombos.
So both required bombos today. That is very interesting. A piece of heart is above the pose. Since SuperNinTaylor already checked that, I guess we can call that a thanks game. Kyong is making his way into Misery Mire right now. SuperNinTaylor is working toward the bow lock side of Palace of Darkness, which isn't locked for him because he has the bow. Both runners have the bow. And chest here contains 5 rupees, so the next one's probably a key. Nope, another 5 rupees. Oh yeah, this is, I keep forgetting this is Key Sandy, so the keys may not be in here. We do have a possible 14 unique items in this dungeon. And there's 10 arrows in what I believe is this 4th chest of this check. Kyong is in the firelock side of Misery Mire. He's lighting the torches right now. Going to get an item in the chest up here. Looks like that item I did not unfortunately get to see, so hopefully Jack can help with that. And SuperNinTaylor is going across the crumbling bridge and is going to start checking the chest on this side. There's 20 bucks. Apparently that one chest was a blue rupee in Misery Mire, according to chat. Thank you. There's a map for Skull Woods in the basement of Palace of Darkness, and on the other side of the room, I didn't catch what that was. Apparently it was another big 20. There's some bombs in Misery Mire, the big key chest as we refer to it normally in vanilla. Now, Kyong does have this big key, but he knows he didn't go in the big key door yet. He wants to get the other chest checks out of the way before going into that big key door, because there's no other chest back there. He's just going to go straight to the boss and get Vitreous down for whatever item he has. So we're going to get the other chest first. There's a bottle there. SuperNinTaylor is about to unlock the basement completely of Palace of Darkness by putting an arrow into the eye of the statue. This is a cutscene. Kyong just went through his own cutscene over here on the firelock side to get the big key chest. He seems to be going back to that big key chest. Did he forget he did this? Oh, he didn't check the hint tile. He's checking the hint tile. A Misery Mire key is in the big chest of Slip That Said Swamp Palace. Interesting hint.
Alright, that'll mean that the Swamp Palace big key is required.
I'm not sure if the logic requires all the Misery Mire keys, but if it does, then yeah, logically the Swamp Palace big key would be required.
Oh, that was a small key. I was thinking it
Yeah,
was
small key. So here we are in the Homostar King fight for SuperNinTaylor. And what he's basically going to do is hammer the mask until it crumbles enough. Once it crumbles enough, it will come off. And normally I would say you could fire a silver arrow into the skull to finish it off, but it would need several regular arrows because silver arrows are not available for this fight. So once SuperNinTaylor gets the boss down with a few hits here, it will explode. I did not see the last time that Kyong picked up, but he's just getting a big 20 right now. And SuperNinTaylor is about to pick up his compass for Eastern Palace. And that is also one of the crystals that he needs to obviously get to Ganon's Tower. So that's his first crystal, I believe. I think that is actually the first crystal for either runner at 1 hour and 5 minutes into the race today. So Kyong going to get the full magic refill that's available for free in Misery Mire. Heading down to the basement right now.
And SuperNinTaylor heading into Ice Palace.
And we have 3 hints here. The big key of Evil Bane is in Ganon's Tower. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be playing the big key guessing game later. We know it is in Ganon's Tower.
Oh, that's always fun.
So if you guess somewhere from 150 to 170, congratulations. You will be a winner, possibly.
Kyong starts his Vitreous fight. Gonna try to use a little bit of NMG spin strats, but with green mail and 6 hearts, you can't do much of that.
Ooh, Kyong takes a death to Vinny. And of course, fairies don't really do anything here. So yeah, that's a solid death. He's back to the start of Misery Mire.
Unique item requires the boots. We already got that. The fire rod.
Thanks, game. Being noted, the Bombos also required the boots. So 2 unique items, as tends to be the case, referred to in a hint.
I believe fairies do work, but you just can't catch them. So the only way you can get a fairy is from picking one up, or maybe from the one of the waterfall fairies.
I guess that is true. Yeah, the fairies, but the fairies I don't think recover that much health. So I think you would still want to get like a heart out of it, even if you die. Am I correct in that?
I'm honestly, I haven't really played much expert, so I'm not sure. I think it still revives you 7 hearts though.
Okay, hopefully someone who knows that better than either of us does can confirm that. Nope, they heal the same amount according to someone in chat, but it's just hard to get them apparently. So thank you for that. And we are getting a check of a very easy to miss chest in Ice Palace here. It looks like it is a small key. I did not, unfortunately, see the text on the restream end, so I'm not sure what that was for.
Yeah, I missed it as well.
And there was another chest that SuperNinTaylor just checked that I didn't see either.
That was just bombs.
Okay, bombs. I'm being told that was a key for Skull Woods in the first of those chests.
Alright.
And I didn't see what the last one SuperNinTaylor picked up either.
Dark Palace.
Dark Palace, okay. How many keys is that for Palace of Darkness we've seen now? I know SuperNinTaylor already cleared it, so he won't be worried about that key now.
Yeah, I believe we have 4.
There's a Turtle Rock key, meanwhile.
And Kyong on to round 2 of Vitreous. Gonna use arrows here and gets it done. And hey, there's a Thief's Town small key.
Very nice.
So at this point, kind of just a fetch quest, really.
Yeah, at this point it is a fetch quest because he's both runners have already taken out. Actually, no, one runner did not finish Thieves Town. So once SuperNinTaylor gets to Vidya and gets that small key, he'll go back to Thieves Town. He may notice that the chest that he did not open, he may eye that very quickly and see that he has to get that and lose a few seconds doing that because we know it's just some wooden sticks in it. But other than that, he should be going to clear out Thieves Town at that point and trying to finish that off. And that will let him route in that chest with his finishing Thieves Town. Ironically enough, you could say that almost saves some time in the end because Kyong would have to go in, wander right down the basement.
There's another pod key in Desert.
We might have seen them all now.
Yeah, I think. Piece of Heart in Mimic Cave. I think that might be 5 out of 6 we've seen.
Yeah, it's either 5 or all 6. I think we've seen 5 unique ones. I can't name them all, but I'm sure we've seen at least 5. Make that 6.
Oh, there's the last one.
Make that 6. We've seen all 6. 2 in the Ruined Desert Palace.
Yep. Right next to each other.
You had to logically go to Desert Palace before doing Palace of Darkness, and SuperNinTaylor has not even been to Desert Palace yet.
And SuperNinTaylor on Cold Stare. This is not easy with the Master Sword.
Those ice drops, I think, do like 2 or maybe even 3, but definitely at least 2 hearts of damage. So you want to make sure you stay out of the way of those because those will kill you fast if they hit you. There's a small key to Turtle Rock on Cold Stare as well. I think we've seen all those keys as well now, or at least 3 of those.
No, we got 3, I believe.
It is 3? Okay.
So we can clear out all of Turtle Rock except for 1 chest.
So that means the Lava Island chest would probably get skipped if the runners decide to go there with only their 3 keys.
Well, except we don't have the Ice Rod yet. We still need to find that.
And they're going to do that before they go to Turtle Rock, of course, naturally. Unless they run out of places to check and that's all they need, and then they're going to go and probably find it in Turtle Rock in that case.
And as Chad is pointing out, we actually are getting fairly close to go mode. We still need... We know the Gannis Tower big key is in Gannis Tower. We need the Ice Rod. And what else? We need...
That's it. I think that's it. Just a few
We need
keys.
the Eastern Palace big key as well. But that's it, yeah.
Yeah, I think they have all the big keys aside from Eastern Palace. That's interesting. So yeah, the Eastern Palace big key probably would be enough unless they're missing a small key. They need the 4th. Theoretically, they need the 4th small key for Turtle Rock. If it turns out it's on that Lava Chest Island, then it would be a case where if they skip that, they would not miss out on anything anyway in that case. But Beanky saying that may not be the case. I could see them if they get the when they get the Ice Rod, they could just steal that key and hope that the Eastern Palace big key is not in that Lava Island chest.
Yeah. Of course, they got to be careful when stealing that key that they don't accidentally open the door, which I've seen happen.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that happen too.
There's another big key, and that's for Swamp. Okay, we saw that one earlier.
Yep.
Kyong getting his hint about the Gannis Tower big key.
Okay, so SuperNinTaylor's going to the big chest right now. He's getting the 2 pod keys he will not need at this point. Kyong is in the cross room, going to head north in Ice Palace. They're going to drop down and start doing his check of all the goodies down here. We did not find an Ice Rod or the Eastern Palace big key down here, so we will not locate those here. So he is just covering ground that SuperNinTaylor has already covered. SuperNinTaylor is covering ground that Kyong has already covered. We'll take that opportunity right now as a result to remind you to follow these runners. They're doing this really insane difficult seed that I would not even touch personally. and they're doing it for your entertainment in a race. So they definitely deserve follows. They definitely deserve your support for putting on this great race for you today. Give them a follow. Pedestal was checked, by the way. I'm seeing that question in chat. Pedestal was checked, and it was just a triple boot. SuperNinTaylor is on the way to land Molus right now. Kyong did already defeat Land Molus. So again, this is ground that Kyong has already covered. Kyong going through where SuperNinTaylor's already been, going to get the hookshot chest here right now. No, he's not. He's not doing that one yet. He's in the what I said earlier is an easy to miss chest, and there are people who play in this for the first time don't even realize there's just in this room. There's just so much to do to get to it. But I believe this was a small key that was in here. Yep, that was the Skullwood small key.
And Taylor taking down Land Molus, getting his compass.
Mm-hmm. And now we're going to get the hookshot chest in this room from Kyong. And that was a small key for Palace of Darkness, which we noted earlier from with chat's help, because I think we missed that one. And I have a feeling with these small keys that Kyong is finding, he's finally going to road in Palace of Darkness here as well. He's in those last 2 dungeons, he's found at least 3 of those small keys, so I can see Palace of Darkness being his next stop.
Yeah. I'm still hoping to find that eastern big key. We at least know it can't be in Ganon's Tower. But we don't know that third pendant, and it could be Turtle Rock, which could mean that the Ice Rod is in Ganon's Tower.
And if that's the case, then the Ice Rod wouldn't even be needed unless Trinex himself... Actually, Trinex
we'd
himself
still
couldn't even
need
have
it.
Yeah.
We'd still need it, just not till...
For all dungeons, but not for getting
after,
to Ganon's
yeah.
Tower, yeah. Not for getting to Ganon's Tower in that case. So the Ice Rod could be in Ganon's Tower, as you were saying in that case.
Right, and Taylor making his way into Mire.
And there was that bottle for SuperNinTaylor. We did have that bottle that was in here. Kyong did get that, of course. But again, the medicine not very useful today. So you could say that the... he uses the bottles to keep the bunny meat from hitting him. That was an interesting trick by Kyong there.
Yeah, that was quick thinking. Alright, Kyong into Cold Stare now. It's an easier fight with that Bomb Boost medallion. He can save a bunch of magic for Fire Rod shots.
SuperNinTaylor is in the cutscene chest, which is why you see what seems to be a little bit of a blurry screen for him for a moment there. He's checking that hint about the Misery Mire big key in the big chest, or a small key in the big chest of Swamp Palace. Kyong holds his crystal aloft happily. And where is Kyong off to now? Probably Palace of Darkness.
Oh,
Yep, there it is. So once again, because these runners have been clearing completely different routes, doing dungeons in a completely different order from each other, this is a case where we've seen pretty much everything in all of these dungeons. It's not going to be until we really get to Turtle Rock, I think, that we're going to start to see more new content or any other overworld checks that may not have been checked yet. So they literally are just covering each other's steps at this point.
yeah, I think. Well, the only other area we haven't seen much of is the upstairs of Tower of Hera.
Yeah, that too. But that's all on Death Mountain. That's all going to happen at the same time. Now they could go and clear. Well, I don't know they can't because they don't have the big key. So yeah, I keep thinking Eastern Palace, but they can't do that yet. So Kyong is probably hoping to find that Eastern Palace big key in the Palace of Darkness, which we know won't be the case. Has anyone checked Sahasrar's item yet?
Yeah, I believe NinTaylor did, and it was just 5 rupees if I remember correctly.
Ah, okay. So that's not going to be in play.
Actually, now that I think about it, has anyone been in Swamp yet?
No, no one has been.
That's surprising because we had a lot of Swamp items earlier.
We did got small key a long time ago, and now we have the hammer, the hook shot, and the flippers. They can do swamp completely. I think it's just a case of runners don't like going in Swamp Palace, though. And there's that bug nut, by the way. I didn't catch that earlier on. We have the bug nut for Kyong there. I'm sure SuperNinTaylor got that as well. But yeah, the Swamp Palace being fully clearable, it's surprising that neither runners checked that because while we know there's only one item that could be in there, 2 items, I should say, of interest, one being the Ice Rod, the other being the Eastern Palace Big Key. The fact that the dungeon can be fully cleared almost suggests go there earlier. And I would not be surprised to see one or both items in Swamp Palace. In fact, we know what's in the big key chest. We know it's a Misery Mire small key there, but I would say that one of those 2 items on the left side of Swamp Palace, either the big key for Eastern Palace or the Ice Rod, maybe even both.
Yeah, there's a good chance we'll find something there.
So SuperNinTaylor is on video right now. Just needs to poke the eyeballs here, and should be able to eventually take him out here. Their Master Sword takes a lot of sword hits to spin slash him, but not wanting to waste his arrows on him, which is understandable. Kyong is having his Eastern Palace of Darkness cutscene. SuperNinTaylor is one small eyeball away from taking out the big video, and there it is. He's on big video right now. And now he's going to pull the arrows out, and as Ben Stein would say, wow.
Yeah, that was a really nice Vitreous. Only took 1 heart of damage.
And Kyong making his way through the basement of Palace of Darkness. Rather dark area, but he has a lighter, so a lit lamp, so he's going to have no problem there. Is through the little turtles and is now on to Homosar King himself. Again, going to use the hammer to get that mask off. Fun fact, by the way, you can actually use 3 bombs to get that hammer off. So it's actually quicker than the hammer, but the bombs, because they take the time to explode, it can take a little longer if Homosar King moves out of the way and avoids the bomb.
Ooh, Kyong getting hit a bit. He's got 2 hearts left. decides to use a potion, which gives him one extra possible hit.
I don't know if we saw Aghanim yet, but we just got the Misery Mire Compass out of there.
Yeah, and Kyong finishes with Helm. So that was actually really good use of that blue potion. He would have been dead if he didn't use it.
Yeah, that turned out to be really well used.
So potions not completely useless in this mode.
And Kyong going back in for the item on the left side. He never actually put... No, maybe he did. He just realized he already picked it up, apparently. He's going back in for other items. So he didn't complete Palace of Darkness completely. So, seeing what's left, I guess. SuperNinTaylor is going through Thieves' Town. Will he notice he did not open that chest?
Well, he has a compass now, so he might notice it when he gets to blind.
Yeah, he might notice that he didn't pick up an item there. He'll be like, why do I only have 6 items? I should have more than 6 items by now.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm surprised he didn't notice it says 3. That would be another hint that he missed one. You can almost see it plaguing him as he goes through blind. Did I miss the ice rod in here? Is the ice rod in here? That's being noted in chat, and I actually was going to point this out as well. If there's an item in the Thieves' Town big chest, if the ice rod or the Eastern Palace big key is in there, that would be huge. Absolutely huge for SuperNinTaylor right now.
Yeah, because that's going to be one of the last places Kyung's going to want to look for it.
Yeah, because he got everything else.
Book.
So again, Kyong is just going over items that SuperNinTaylor has already found. SuperNinTaylor, I believe, has found everything here. I think he did the big chest as well, if I'm not mistaken. But if not, we'll confirm it right now if we can see it on Kyong's side. And it was actually the blue boomerang. Okay, it looks like SuperNinTaylor did not get the dark room check. That is interesting.
Yeah.
And the blue boomerang showed up somewhere for Kyong as well. I'm not sure where that was. And there's just some bombs in the Thieves' Town big chest. So, wow.
Yeah. And Kyong finally making the swamp play. So neither runner been in here yet.
I would not be surprised to see both Gobo items in here, or at least one of them leading to the other. So either the Ice Rod going to Trinex, who has the Eastern Palace Big Key on him, or the Eastern Palace Big Key leading to Armor Sites, and they have the Ice Rod, something along those lines. I could see that happening here. And I'm sure it's going to start on the left side of Swamp, because that's where the big items tend to be hidden, even in Randomizer, I find. Meanwhile, we do get a hint tower here. Some cash and some cash is locked in Misery Mire or something like that. Some bombs and some cash, I believe.
Yeah.
We've seen both those items. We knew that already.
We get another GT small key in the first chest of Swamp.
And those small keys do matter today, since we know that the Gans Tower is hiding the big key. We have to go through all the basement of Gans Tower to find it. And if it's not found until the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th chest, we're going to be using some of those small keys. So we want to get all those small keys today.
And Kyong finding the Desert Palace small key. I just saw that. So that's 2 items in Desert. So you can go check at some point.
Yep, SuperNinTaylor hasn't been here. He's actually just going to follow him in right now, so he's going to get the same items that Kyong is getting right now. So this is turning into a close race now. I'm just looking at the trackers for the bosses. They're on identical boss kills. Everything is tied at this point. So SuperNinTaylor is literally about a minute behind Kyong. I don't think there's a lot of items here that either runner has over the other. I think the items are almost exactly the same. They've done all the same overworld checks. There's not a lot that they missed.
Well, Kyong has those boomerangs and that bug net. Those could be huge.
No, the boomerangs won't do anything. Yeah,
I
they'll
know.
do absolutely
Just-
nothing.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know, you're playing.
Kyong's gonna go to the back of Swamp first. I doubt he'll skip left side. He'll probably just come back and do it later.
Or he may skip it.
That would be risky.
If he gets a breadcrumb down here and the other breadcrumb is on the left side, like there's that Eastern Palace
Oh.
big key. He will not be back on the
Yeah.
left side now. I don't think he's going to go back to the left side. So we are just an ice rod away from go mode, and I don't think he's going to be going back to left side of the swamp. He might be thinking the ice rod is the Eastern Palace. He's going to make the gamble on the Eastern Palace and just go straight over there.
Yeah, we'll see. Did we find out what that third pendant was yet?
Let me find out if we have it on the tracker. I don't think we have yet. No, we still see question marks on the tracker, so I don't think it's marked.
Yeah.
This could be it right here on Argus. As
Yep.
Kyong pulls all the Argai, they actually are called Argai, off of Argus, and dispatches them one by one. That one gets back on. And there's a small key for SuperNinTaylor right now. So Kyong is still working on the Argai. Very, very slow with the Master Sword because they're a little bit strong. They're a little bit beefier when you don't have the advanced weaponry. So you have to get a couple extra shots at them. 2 left, 1 left. And now it's time for some calamari. Oh, SuperNinTaylor also did not do left side. So let's see who makes the gamble on left side, if either of them does.
Yeah, we also will have Pyramid Fairy open after this.
So you notice on the compass count, Kyong is showing you have collected 7 of the 10 items in this dungeon. There are 3 items left that you can pick up. Will he go back in here and check those items before going back to Eastern Palace to clear that?
Yeah, I think he skipped the big chest.
And Argus had a 5-6 crystal. I missed that. I forgot that this was a 5-6 crystal, so that couldn't have been a pendant, knowing that. So the red pendant is still outstanding.
Does Kyong not have the swamp big? Yeah, he does. So I wonder why he didn't open the big chest earlier. Must have just forgotten.
I'm guessing he just forgot. Or actually, no, we knew what was in the big chest. I just remembered we had a hint for that. It's a Misery Mire key in that chest.
Oh, I see.
That's why he didn't open it. So that's 2 items he has left to get then.
Yeah, I mean that just shows you like just how well these top runners think. I mean, it only saves him like 2 seconds to not open that chest, but you know he remembered that hint.
And SuperNinTaylor just opened it out of habit, I believe. I think he saw the hint as well. I'm sure he did actually, but he just opened it out of habit just to show, hey, yep, that's what the hint's talking about.
Yeah.
Because I do remember commenting on that hint earlier. Now I just it was so long ago that it happened that, as you see, we can easily forget about that ourselves, and we have to think about it to realize, oh yeah, there was a hint for that. So that's why he didn't.
Yeah, I find myself, even if I remember the hint, sometimes I'll still open it anyway, just because I might not even I'd be like, is that a hint from this seed or was it the last seed I played? I get them mixed up, so I'll just be like, better open it to make sure.
So are we gonna find the ice rod over here? Was this worth the visit, or did SuperNinTaylor exiting make sense? Is that last time the ice rod? We're gonna find out right now. It is bombs. We do not have an ice rod here. I am not a witch today.
Alright, so SuperNinTaylor gaining a couple minutes by skipping that left side.
It instantly takes the lead as well.
And according to our tracker, Turtle Rock is a pendant. So that means the ice rod could be in Gannis Tower.
He must have caught a map check that we didn't, because I didn't see that at all.
I saw a quick map check from Kyong, but it was so quick I just didn't have time to see it. And NinTaylor are going to do Pyramid Fairy, while Kyong's just going to head straight to Eastern.
Speaking of our tracker, just give a big shout out to Danny, one who is doing the tracking for us today. As I said, probably caught a map check that neither E-Team or I caught. So just thanks to him for doing the tracking today as well, keeping us honest as well.
All right, let's see what we got in the pyramid.
And while SuperNinTaylor checks that, just a quick answer to your question in chat asking what game number this is. This is the first game between the two. The Triforce icons would be lit up for either runner if there was a win for either runner, and it's just money in the pyramid check today.
All right, we got 2 more items in Eastern. And then we're going to go up and do... Now, I wonder if these runners are going to dive into Turtle Rock, or are they just going to hope it's the ice rod is in GT?
Here's how I'm looking at it right now, because SuperNinTaylor did the Pyramid Fairy check, and we noticed that the big chest did not have the ice rod in it. If the ice rod is not on the Armos Knights, which would put Kyong into go mode, and in fact, SuperNinTaylor, as soon as he finds it too, will be in go mode. If it's not on the Armos Knights, Kyong will probably have to go back and do the Pyramid Fairy check himself at some point. SuperNinTaylor's already done that, so he's on his way to Eastern Palace right now, behind Kyong. So
actually, he's going into pot. Oh no, he's gonna mirror.
He's gonna use the mirror. He's gonna mirror. Yeah. So he's going to Eastern Palace.
But it looks like he's planning to go into pod after to finish off his checks in there.
That is possible. If he didn't check, if there's something he didn't check, he might be doing that, because he did have only, I think, 3 keys at the time he went in. Did Kyong get everything out of Palace of Darkness?
I believe so.
And it's not an ice rod. So Kyong will nonetheless probably be doing the Pyramid Fairy check, because he has still has to do that, rule that out. What other checks can he do before going to Turtle Rock? I think he can just...
Well, there's Hera.
Oh yeah, there's Hera. There's Hera too.
Trying to think if there's any more overworld checks. I can't think of any. Catfish has been checked. Yeah, I can't think of any other overworld checks. Maybe Ether Tablet. I don't know if anyone's been up there.
And that's where
but that'll be routed in with Hera, yeah.
Kyong's going there right now because he's heading to Tower of Hera. He's taking the route to Tower of Hera. Unless he walks right by and goes to Turtle Rock first, but I don't see him doing that because he needs the ice rod. In fact, with the fact that Turtle Rock is a pendant, there's actually a good point raised in chat. Just do all of Ganon's Tower first, because there's a lot more items in Ganon's Tower. There's better odds that the ice rod is in Ganon's Tower if it's not in Tower of Hera.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a tricky decision.
In fact,
if you find say you find the GT big key early, you don't have to do the rest of those checks. You can just go mode the rest of GT.
But if the ice rod's in Ganon's Tower, they're going to keep going until they find. And they want to risk and make sure that the ice rod is not in Ganon's Tower. Then, as soon as they get the ice rod, what I predict will happen if it's in Ganon's Tower is they will mirror to the start of Ganon's Tower. They will leave. They will go to Turtle Rock. They will come back to Ganon's Tower after finishing Turtle Rock. That way, they're already at the pyramid. They're already able to jump straight into the Ganon fight.
Oh, Kyong gets a hint for the left side of the swamp.
Thanks, game.
Yeah, but the thing I was saying is, like, so Turtle Rock, I mean, full clearing Turtle Rock is not that much longer than go moding Turtle Rock. So
correct.
If you know, if the ice rod is in there and you have an early GT big key, you can save a ton of time in GT by not having to look for the ice rod there. But as you said, there are more item locations in GT, so it might be more likely to be found there.
My logical thinking on that is that there are so many items in GT that if you have to go through GT to find the ice rod, we'll see what Kyong does in a moment too. That was actually a pendant in Tower of Hera, by the way, so Turtle Rock is a crystal. So we need to fix that on the tracker.
All right, then. So
that changes things completely. Wow, the ice rod has to be in Turtle Rock.
Huh. Okay, so never mind that whole discussion. We're more or less in go mode. We have to find the ice rod, but we know it is in Turtle Rock.
Most likely, yeah.
Well, I can't think anywhere else it could be.
Me neither.
Sorry?
Me neither.
Oh, yeah, chat pointed out one location, right side desert, has not been checked.
That is true. We got that key in Swamp Palace, so they have not been back there to check that. And given that Turtle Rock is right next to Ganon's Tower, that might have been a better check to make before coming up Death Mountain.
Yeah, well, on the other hand, at least if you don't find the ice rod in Turtle Rock, you can make a portal to Laser Bridge and save it. Desert Palace is in the light world, so you don't have. So you'd be able to use that portal for sure.
Mm-hmm. So there's a big 20 in the first chest of Turtle Rock. That's one chest ruled out. We're off to the right side of the entry area, and we're gonna check the. We're gonna light some torches with the fire rod right now. We're going to get two chests in the bumper room above that. That is chest number 2 and 3 in Turtle Rock. We're going to see if it's up there next. This room has been known to hold very important items from time to time. So this could be where it is.
Yeah, pedestal was checked. It was just 3 bombs.
Okay, here are 2 more chests. Some bombs and some bombs. By the way, something to know here is that Kyong apparently has all 4 Turtle Rock keys. It seems that
yeah, we can see that on the screen.
He did get all 4, yeah. So it's being pointed out here, and I'm not sure if SuperNinTaylor has all 4. We'll find out when he goes inside as well. So Kyong is in Chompy's room, as I like to call it. And that's a small key. That's a useless small key because the other dungeons are all done. It's just Misery Mire's small.
And yes, NinTaylor does have 4 Turtle Rock small keys, so.
Here's a little thing coming up from chat. Hera small key in the right side of desert, and ice rod in Hera base.
Oh, yeah, that's typical chat situations.
That would be, yeah, I wouldn't even just call that unsavory. I'd call that a straight. Ugh. And by the way, SuperNinTaylor does also have all 4 small keys.
Yep. Oh, NinTaylor trying to use the cape, but ran out of magic before he even reached the first roller.
Only 1 heart left too, so he has to take it very slow. He's gonna obviously mirror out of here now, though, and may
I think he'll
just take a death warp. Yeah,
death warp.
He's
makes
taking
more sense. All right, so we're on to the big chest. I do believe we had a hint from Mimic Cave.
I don't.
It was not anything useful.
I didn't see it, but let's see if Kyong checks it, and that will tell.
Yeah, he's skipping it.
Yep, skipping it. Must have been a useless item. There's a piece of heart, so it's not there. We have 1 more chest, and then we have Laser Bridge, and then we have Trinex himself. We can't be on Trinex himself, so that means there are 5 places it could be in here. If it's not in here, John Flip might have a point here.
Yeah, so if it's not in here, I expect him to leave the portal and go flute off to desert. And we'll see what we find there, because I can't think of any other locations again. Oh, NinTaylor getting chomped.
Yum. So he was Chain Chomp's lunch, and now he has to revive and do this all over again. But Kyong is on his way to Laser Bridge. He is 1 room away from Laser Bridge right now. Will the Ice Rod be on Laser Bridge, or do we have an absolutely nasty trip ahead of us back to the desert? Here's the first item on Laser Bridge. We have the Ice Rod. We are 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 14 seconds. Kyong is in go mode.
And decides to check the second chest just for fun, gets a piece of heart. I'm not sure. That must have been what he was looking for, because I can't think of anything else he would expect to find.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe an arrow drop.
Maybe that single arrow if we haven't seen it yet. So that means that we have a game to play after this. Don't guess yet, because we haven't started the game yet. We will do that momentarily when the game starts. So Kyong is fighting Trinex right now, and we have 1 head down. Master Sword makes this harder, by the way. If you may often have to get another Fire Rod or Ice Rod shot in on the respective head to get the extra shots in. So working on the second head right now, dodging the turtle bites with 7 hearts and 5 left right now. That's, you want to dodge those turtle bites because those hurt.
Yeah, so, especially on green mail.
So let's see what happens here. Trinex shell is exploding. Should take it down, no problem, I would say. This is a quick segment of the fight right here with the hammer. And ladies and gentlemen, start getting your guesses in chat for the big key guessing game. And I'll explain the parameters for that shortly. But first I want to ask ETM, where do you think that big key is today?
I'll go with number 10 today.
Any particular reason?
I just like number 10. I often guess it.
And meanwhile, I always say 11 because, well, always.
Oh. All right. Well, if they use, let's see, what will that be normally? Probably, I guess it depends on how they route, but...
I see someone got an 11 ahead of me as well, so unfortunate for me. But since this is on the Link to the Past randomizer channels, we don't actually have the same parameters for the guessing game in place here. I don't think you have to be a sub or supporter. I think everyone can play. And whoever gets the guess correct first gets points based on how many other people make that guess. So that's how it is made, which means I'm not going to win because I already picked a number that someone else said. So, oh well.
Yeah, there's only so many numbers.
Yep. And we have to stop the game now, so good luck.
We got a convenient counter since we already have the compass. All right, number 1, rupees. Number 2, more rupees.
So we can actually say what the big key prize is today. It's 21 points. Ooh, almost dodges the hand and is going to torches 3 and 4 on the right side, doing the right side play. Now, I think more runners do this lately. In the past, it used to be a case where runners did this once they thought they were losing, and this was a gamble they were making. But I think more runners do the right side play now because it's quicker to check those 4 chests and go back to the left side then. You don't lose as much time.
Yeah. It's
no
not
big key yet.
3 through 4.
So we do not have a big key yet. Will it be on the torch today? We're about to find out.
No.
No. Bob will...
SuperNinTaylor taking a death at Laser Bridge. He does have the
That's
safety
unfortunate.
door, so not a huge deal. But he did get that ice rod. And there it is.
Bingo. I think that was chest number or location number 10.
Yeah, it was. So I won.
Congratulations.
So you won the
But
blue ball
on
game,
the
and
on the actual, not to interrupt you, sorry, but on the actual guessing game in the chat, Raisinadu was the winner of the Ganstar Big Key guessing game. He guessed 10 exactly, and it was at 10. He scores the 21 points, and he also wins a free 25% coupon to Turtle Rock Hot Springs, guaranteed to burn you alive. Congratulations. Please enjoy.
Congratulations. All right. So Kyong with a several minute lead now, but we are on Master Sword. It is expert. He's got 1 heart now. I imagine he'll stop into the safety room and grab a fairy.
He looks like he's doing that.
Along with a full magic refill.
SuperNinTaylor, meanwhile, does complete the Trinex fight, so he's on his way to get his tower. Get your... Never mind.
I guess 10.
So Kyong's going through the gauntlet, and the gauntlet on any higher difficulty level than normal can be very, very nasty and very, very evil. Especially with 9 hearts.
Just the master, yeah.
Especially with, actually, he's picked up 8 hearts now. Kyong has found some heart pieces in his trip through here. So he's up to 8 hearts now and is only 1 heart away from the maximum number of hearts, which he's probably not going to see now. Because he's not doing the rest of the basement. I'm sure there's at least 1 more down there. So he is going to be running this out with 8 hearts today, and that's not bad for an expert difficulty. It's harder if you only have like 7, 6, 5 hearts on it, especially 5 hearts. But at least we're not doing insane difficulty where, you know, you only get 3 hearts for the entire game.
Yeah, and no silvers.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like SuperNinTaylor going left side first, so this will save him a little bit of time.
A little bit. It may be too little to catch up. It would take a very unfortunate circumstance from Kyong to give SuperNinTaylor all the time he needs to catch up and possibly overtake the lead. So he has found the big key, and I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that was not number 10. If he did a full left, that was number 4. If he actually did the first two on the right, it was number 6.
Right. Also worth noting, NinTaylor has 6 hearts compared to Kyong's 8.
He does.
And he's just burned half of them on this spike room.
Down to 2. Down to 2.
I would have done that.
This gauntlet is going to be very, very difficult. He's going to have to go to the safety ferry.
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, didn't he? Actually, I take that back. He's already passed that room. That was... No, yes, no.
No, it's, yeah, and then this room.
I didn't catch which room he was in. My mistake.
Hey, Kyong, on to Moldorm 2.
Why is it called Moldorm 2? Well, because we already had Moldorm 1. Makes logical sense. Kyong running on all 8 hearts, by the way. He's in good shape for the Aghanim 2 fight, and as long as he stays really healthy for the Ganon fight after. Okay, so here we are. We're on the triangle fight. That is definitely a triangle. We're going to get at least a couple hits here, I think. This is a good double.
I think that was 3.
That was 3? Oh, nice.
I think. Gets just one more there.
That would mean that was 4 if that's true. This layout is not good. So only one more possible there. That was a horrible layout. And nope, there was only a double because he got a double there. So it was a 2-1-1-2. So Kyong summons the bird to the Dark World for the only time he appears in the Dark World. SuperNinTaylor gets a heart from the Honey Bean. And the bat crashed through the pyramid, and ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Big Pig.
Now, he's going to have to do 12 sword spins on phase 1, 12 sword spins on phase 2. And apparently he's going to use a Samaria block. Oh, that's really clever, actually. I never thought of doing that.
What's he doing?
The Samaria block holds him in place so that he can do as many double spins as he wants. I have never seen that before.
Interesting. And that is a good...
That's really
Oh, that
cool.
is brilliant. I could see some runners stealing that. That is brilliant. He's in a great place there. He doesn't have to use Kane's Samaria block in that spot. And he's still getting the sword swings in, it looks like. And again, is getting warpy now, so we're on phase 3.
Chat pointing out that it's not a new strategy. It's been done before. Well, it is a new strat to me. So.
Yeah, I'm sure. I guarantee you it's been done before. I've just never seen it. It's brilliant.
And Kyong already on to phase 3. And already on to phase 4. This is just flying through this fight.
He's got 7 hearts too. He's very healthy. He's in good shape here. The silver arrows are going to make this an absolute piece of cake.
And this should be his last arrow.
This is it.
And there it is.
Thank your GGs in chat, ladies and gentlemen, for Kyong, who is going to be the first to finish this seed between him and SuperNinTaylor, the first of a potential 3-game set. He is. I don't have the SR room open, so do you have the SR room open to get the official time?
Yeah, I'll get it for you. His official SR time, 1 hour, 59 minutes, 20 seconds. Get your GGs in chat.
And apparently he was 2 minutes late. Nah, nothing you can do about that. So we'll see if we can get him in the channel to chat with us about this seed today.
Alright, I'm asking Kyong if he wants to hop in. And he's there in the waiting room, should be joining us shortly.
Up there, I see him. And now Kyong is joining us. Kyong, congratulations and GG.
Hey, thank you.
Walk us through how you felt about that seed today.
It was definitely easier than the average expert SuperNinTaylor dungeons, honestly. We had quite a lot of health and safeties, and we had bombas for ice, we had bow for vitreous, we had basically everything.
Yeah, actually, surprisingly, you finished on 8 hearts. SuperNinTaylor's only got 6.
That's probably... There's a few heart pieces I went after, and I don't recall where was the heart container, but I got that.
Yeah, I think he missed the one. There was one at Zora Ledge because he fake flippered there, so he couldn't get that one. I don't know which other ones he's missed. He also went straight left side in GT, so there might have been 1 or 2 that you got in GT.
Yeah, I think there were at least a couple on the right side in GT that Kyong picked up. So that's at least 2 or 3 right there that we can name. I'm going to assume that he didn't go out of his way to get the heart pieces as much as you did, Kyong, because you've literally got almost every single one of them, and there were at least a couple out in the open today as well.
Yeah, from previous experience, I kinda like going and getting them, as long as it's not a really major time sink. Like maybe something like Bumper Cave I wouldn't have gotten, but...
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oh, and SuperNinTaylor just took a death to Ganon. Since we don't really have fairies in a bottle here, he's going to have to start over again.
Now, you used a strat that I've actually never seen before on Ganon with the Samaria blocks. That was really cool.
Yeah, I'm not actually great at it, because ideally using Samaria, you're able to make through the 2 first phases in a total of 3 to 4 cycles. But what I like about it is that it just makes phase 2 a little bit more consistent, because you know how if you put Ganon on the top left and top right corners, it's pretty easy usually to just get inside the ring and spin inside there. But
Yeah.
otherwise, you just take so much time in phase 2, and that definitely increased the consistency a lot.
Yeah, no, that was really cool. Yeah, I've seen a lot of races in the couple of years I've been in the community, and it is at the speed gaming in general watching these, and I've never seen that done. So that was a new strategy to me as well. It's like I'm not sure where that strategy first started, but because I'm told it's not a new strategy, obviously, because it's been done before. But first time I've ever seen it. Really cool strategy to see.
SuperNinTaylor on his second round with Ganon.
So I'm just trying to think of something else we can cover there. Was there any really interesting? I'm trying to remember if there were any really interesting items that were in auto kits. Actually, I remember one of them was now. Aghanim's Tower had the Moon Pearl. What were your thoughts regarding that being there?
It was fine. I mean, it was kinda... I thought that location had a pretty good chance of having something there at that point.
Yeah, it was one of those situations where you have to go into Aghanim's Tower just to get to the Dark World, not through Aghanim's Tower, which was a very different way to do it.
Yeah. And then you had to do it early anyway just to get the Fire Rod.
Yep. City was super generous with keys, especially as well. Had so many big keys so early.
Yeah, I was thinking this was like, for an all dungeons expert, this was a pretty relatively fast seed.
Yeah, it was
and all the heart
for me for a pretty big margin. My first sub 2 in this setting as well.
Yep. Yeah,
all
so
the
you chose this setting. Any particular reason why you chose it, or you just enjoy this mode?
all dungeons. I enjoy playing all dungeons key sanity, and I would say I probably have. I wouldn't say like in this matchup I probably don't have a huge edge, but I usually during the group stage I chose Aldanisky Sands for all of my matches because I just enjoy that setting.
I just
I'm
have
gonna
to
interrupt
cut
you
you
for
off
a
for a
second
second.
here.
SuperNinTaylor just finished. Let me grab his official time: 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 12 seconds. So get your GGs in chat for SuperNinTaylor.
And GG to SuperNinTaylor. And go ahead, I thought you were saying, Kyong.
And other than that, I just chose expert mostly because after playing a few seeds with it, I just think it just makes the mid to late game a bit more interesting execution wise. And that's another area that I could try to get an edge at.
Alright, I've asked SuperNinTaylor if he wants to join. So we'll see if he comes in. In the meantime, have you guys scheduled your second match yet? No, I don't see it on the schedule.
Not officially scheduled, we're planning for Tuesday night.
Tuesday night? Okay.
Tuesday night, okay, interesting.
And so that'll be SuperNinTaylor's choice of mode. Has he told you what he's going to pick yet?
Not yet, he chose to wait until this race to choose.
Well, maybe we can get a little bit of intel from him while he's in here chatting with us momentarily. So you're also waiting to see if SuperNinTaylor wants to join us or not.
Oh, there he is. He's in the waiting room.
Okay.
So he should be with us.
Go ahead and bring him in. And there he is.
Hello.
Hey, GG.
Thank you.
So, what were your thoughts on that seed? 6 hearts and Master Sword Ganon. Not easy.
Yeah, I don't encounter that too often, so it was a little sketchy.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done Master Sword Silverless, but not with 6 hearts.
Yeah, that's tough. But
6 hearts,
I mean,
6 hearts and green mail, I should say.
yeah. Don't. All things considered, I mean, this was a relatively close race. If it weren't for that Ganon death, you guys would have only been maybe 2-3 minutes apart, which is really impressive. I mean, for an expert key sanity seed, you guys did really well. I think there was maybe a couple of unintentional deaths here or there, but nothing too serious.
Yeah, I had Turtle Rock didn't go so well, so if I watched the end of the restream, it looked like we were pretty close on Turtle Rock, and the chain chomps got me.
Yeah, you lost a minute or two there.
And in that dark little maze platform room, there's like, my D-pad's messed up or something, so I kept going the wrong way on the platform.
Oh.
Taking hits and running around in circles, so that kind of widened the gap even more.
Yeah. What were your guys' thoughts on overall seed? I mean, it seemed to us, I think, to be somewhat straightforward. I guess one thing I noticed, we had a lot of stuff for Swamp Palace early. It was full clearable for quite a while, but both you guys put it off. I was wondering what were your thoughts on that?
Swamp. Why did I put that off? I don't know. I can't remember why I put that. I just did. I don't know. It's just kind of routing in the moment, I guess.
Yeah. I can actually say that both of you seemed to avoid it for a while. You were both on very, very divergent routes very early in the seed. The only thing you did the same was there was one boss like you both defeated. I forget who it was, but might have been Mothula. But you took completely divergent routes, and then you just started retracing each other's steps for about 10 or 15 minutes. We're kind of talking to ourselves, oh, what can we really talk about now? You're doing everything each other's already done. So it was when you got to Swamp Palace, and all of a sudden it just merged that you had exact same inventories and you were 1 minute apart. It was like, okay, we know who's leading now.
Yeah.
My process was I first tried to clear all the East overworld in Dark World, mostly going after the Thieves Town small key if possible. Then I cleaned up all the rest. I got access to the fire rod there, so I decided to do that. And I really wanted to go to ice because we were like very early, but we didn't have as much items needed, so I really wanted to fish for the Ganon's Tower big key hint. So that's what mostly pushed me into ice.
Yeah, and then you got that hint right off the bat, so it wasn't too bad. Oh, I just remember one thing. SuperNinTaylor, did you know that you skipped a chest in Thieves Town?
Did I skip a chest? Oh, is it the third chest by chance?
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, damn it. That's NMG muscle memory right there.
Yeah, too much energy.
Yeah, it was just arrows, so
Yeah.
nothing too bad. But you were there first, so we were watching Kyong intently to see if there was anything important in that chest.
Man. See, I don't really play a lot of rando. Like other than these, like I don't play rando at all. So I don't practice. Other than these tournament matches, that's all I do.
Yeah.
I've mostly been doing NMG lately, so I kind of have
Okay.
a bit of that muscle memory in there.
Yeah, I'm kind of the opposite. When I play NMG, I find myself opening chests I don't need to. So.
Well, that's what I started doing. I started with rando, and then when I started doing NMG, I kept on opening chests that I wasn't supposed to, like especially the left one in the roller room in Turtle Rock, the map chest. I always opened that one, but now it's the other way around. I keep skipping chests when I should be opening them.
That's the only danger with doing both rando and NMG, because you have to put aside in your mind, okay, this is rando, I need to do this. This is NMG, I don't need to do this. And that's the challenge with doing both at once. Anyone who can actually do those two different kinds of game modes and be able to keep it apart every single race and not make that mistake of opening chests they don't need, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Kudos to them. That's it can be hard to separate that at times.
Yeah, I was really hoping something was in the Thieves Town big chest. Because once I died in the attic, which was stupid, I walked into my own bomb explosion.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put this off and hope I find the Thieves Town small key. And...
Yeah, luckily that book wasn't really important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and once I found that Thieves Town small key, I went right back to Thieves Town. I was like, please let there be something in the big chest. But it's just bombs.
Yeah. No, if there had been something there, that death would have been a blessing in disguise. Because, yeah, Kyong, I don't think ever checked that chest, did you?
Which one? Sorry.
The Thieves Town big chest. I don't think you ever went back.
I got the small key way later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to turn it into a positive. I didn't want to just go right back in and waste time. I was trying to find an edge from it somehow, but it didn't work out.
You see your collection rates now 179 for Kyong and 170 for SuperNinTaylor. I think most of that difference is in GT because Kyong did right side.
Yeah.
See,
It was a good chunk of it.
probably.
I also skipped left side swamp. I don't know if Kyong did that.
I did.
Okay.
Oh, there's also some chests in pod you missed because you
oh yeah.
both of the
I went
boomerangs
north.
were in pod and you missed both of them.
Yeah, I went into pod with only 3 keys, and I never went back for any extra chests.
Yeah, you found those keys later, and we were worried you might go into Palace of Darkness, having already cleared it, and knowing ourselves there was nothing in there. We're thinking to ourselves, don't go in there. Please don't go in there. So
it was on my mind, but yeah, I was trying to limit the amount of backtracking I was doing, so I was gambling a bit, but I felt like I wasn't playing the greatest this morning, so I felt good about taking gambles. So against Kyong, came in 15-0, top seed. I was like, I can't be backtracking too much, otherwise I'm just gonna guarantee a loss. So if I screw up, I gotta make the gamble.
Yeah. 15-0 in the pools we were discussing. That is definitely an achievement, and definitely makes him a feared contender in this tournament.
Yeah, so this is the biggest gap in between placements in the brackets. Top seed versus bottom seed.
Yeah, but I mean, you're still only a few minutes apart. Like, this was a relatively close race, and much of the difference was just that one Ganon death, really.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we can start to wrap up here. So if anyone's looking for some more randomizer action, we have right now on Speed Gaming 6, just started 16 minutes ago, Mac and X versus Willard J. Bradley. And then starting at 5:30 Eastern, so that's in about 45 minutes, on Speed Gaming 5 is Dracaris versus Brewers Fan JP. So Kyong or SuperNinTaylor, do you guys have any final thoughts on the Cedar tournament?
No, I can't think of anything. But GG Kyung.
Did you want to give us any hints as to what you might be picking for game 2, or did you want to keep that secret?
SuperNinTaylor.
I don't even know what I'm doing. I have to still figure that out.
Okay, interesting.
All right.
Well, we look forward to seeing what you come up with in game 2. And also, quick note on the schedule: those are the only other 2 races that ETM just mentioned that are actually getting a broadcast today. There are other races on the schedule. For example, actually, let me check again here. Actually, no, those are the only other 2 races today. The next race on the schedule right now, after that, is actually tomorrow between Bonta and Zero Rush. The channel not yet decided, but that's 3:30 p.m. tomorrow. And that is, again, on tomorrow. So those other 2 races are the only other 2 races coming up today. And then this tournament will be done for the evening. If you did need other things to watch, I'll just give a quick shout out for some speed gaming events here as well. Super Metroid Link to the Past Randomizer has a race tonight combining the 2 games. And you can find some other events on there as well, like a Zelda 1 Randomizer weekly race later tonight as well. So you can get some other randomizers, some other games going on over on the Speed Gaming channels as well. So make sure to follow Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6, ALTTP Randomizer, which is the other channel, ALTTP Randomizer 2, which is this channel, and 3 to 5 as well. Those channels will give you all the rando for this game that you could probably ever need, and on top of anything that the runners themselves do. And again, follow these runners. They did a great job with this race for you today on a very, very difficult seed.
Yeah, Kyong92 and SuperNinTaylor threw their links in chat. Our tracker today was Danny1, and restreamer was OSS Geek. So show those guys some support and thank them for doing some great work on this run. My co-commentator, Cyclone GU, and I am Etium.
And let's go ahead and wrap it up here. So thank you again to you as well, Etium. And been a pleasure to call this race for you today. We look forward to seeing the next race on. I think I was hearing Tuesday is what we were hearing. Not officially on the schedule yet. So looking forward to that. Any final words from you, Etium?
No, that's all I have to say. Just have a good evening, everyone.
And thank you to everyone, the viewers, for tuning in. We couldn't do this without people to watch it. So thank you to you as well, the viewers. And we look forward to seeing you back for the next one as well. In fact, head over to the Speed Gaming channel. Like it was 5 and 6 right now, and check those out as well. 6 right now, 5 later, and check those out, and we'll see you over there. Other than that, he's Etium. I'm Cyclone. Have a wonderful afternoon, wonderful evening, everyone. Final word of the day is key.